The legacy of a civilization. Welcome to Nestfrom Studio, where we explore the grand tapestry of human history and civilization. Today, we delve into one of the most influential cultures of the ancient world, ancient Greece. From the mythic tales of gods and heroes to the birth of democracy, philosophy, and science, ancient Greece's legacy continues to shape our modern world. Stay with us through this journey across centuries, from the Bronze Age to the fall of the Hellenistic kingdoms. And before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from fellow history enthusiasts. The dawn of civilization, the Bronze Age and Minoan culture. Long before the city-states of Athens and Sparta rose to prominence, the earliest known Greek civilization flourished on the island of Crete. This was the Minoan civilization, named after the legendary king Minos. Emerging around 3000 BCE, the Minoans built elaborate palaces like Knossos, developed a complex writing system known as Linear A, and maintained a powerful maritime trade network across the Mediterranean. Their peaceful society was rich in art, religion, and innovation, although much of their mythology remains mysterious due to the undeciphered script. The Mycenaeans, warriors of the mainland. By around 1600 BCE, a new power rose on the Greek mainland, the Mycenaeans. Heavily influenced by the Minoans, the Mycenaeans adopted aspects of their art and writing, but were markedly more militaristic. They are remembered for their impressive fortified cities, such as Mycenae, Tiryns, and Pylos, and for their role in the legendary Trojan War, immortalized in Homer's epics. Their script, Linear B, was an early form of Greek, showing their cultural continuity with later Greek civilization. Around 1200 BCE, their world collapsed in a mysterious Bronze Age collapse. The Greek Dark Ages, a period of transition. The fall of the Mycenaeans plunged Greece into a dark age that lasted from about 1100 to 800 BCE. During this time, literacy vanished, large-scale buildings ceased, and much of the population retreated into small, isolated villages. Yet, this era also laid the groundwork for future revival. Oral traditions preserved stories of gods and heroes, setting the stage for Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. Iron tools replaced bronze, and a new social structure began to emerge, centered around tribal chieftains. The Archaic Period, Rebirth and Innovation. Around 800 BCE, Greece experienced a cultural rebirth. This was the Archaic Period when the Greek alphabet was adopted based on the Phoenician script and literacy returned. City-states, or polis, like Athens, Sparta, and Corinth began to take shape, each with its own government, military, and identity. Monumental sculpture and pottery flourished, and the Olympic Games were first held in 776 BCE. The Greeks began to explore colonization, establishing settlements across the Mediterranean and Black Seas. Athens and the birth of democracy. Among all the Greek city-states, Athens would achieve the most lasting legacy. Originally ruled by kings, then aristocrats, Athens eventually developed a radical new political system, democracy. In the 5th century BCE, under leaders like Solon and Cleisthenes, political power was shared among citizens. The assembly, the Council of 500, and popular courts enabled direct participation in governance. Though limited to free male citizens, this model became the inspiration for democratic systems around the world. Sparta, the warrior society. While Athens flourished as a center of art and intellect, Sparta became known for its rigid military culture. Life in Sparta revolved around discipline, austerity, and warfare. Boys were trained as soldiers from a young age, and the state was governed by a mixed system of two kings, a council of elders, and elected officials. Spartan society was starkly hierarchical and relied heavily on the labor of helots, an enslaved population that far outnumbered citizens. Despite their differences, Athens and Sparta shared a common Greek identity. The Persian Wars, unity in crisis. The threat of invasion brought the Greek city-states together during the Persian Wars, 499 to 449 BCE, when a mighty Persian Empire under Darius and later Xerxes sought to conquer Greece. Athens and Sparta led a united defense. Victories at Marathon, Salamis, and Plataea showcased Greek resilience. These wars not only preserved Greek independence, but also fueled a surge in cultural pride and confidence, particularly in Athens, which emerged as a dominant power in the aftermath. The Golden Age of Athens. Following the Persian Wars, Athens entered its Golden Age, led by the influential statesman Pericles. The city became the heart of Greek culture, producing timeless achievements in philosophy, drama, architecture, and the arts. The Parthenon was built atop the Acropolis as a symbol of Athenian power and devotion to Athena. Philosophers like Socrates questioned the nature of truth and ethics, while playwrights such as Sophocles and Euripides explored the human condition. This era marked the height of classical civilization. The Peloponnesian War, a struggle for supremacy. The unity of the Greek world unraveled as tensions between Athens and Sparta exploded into the Peloponnesian War, 431 to 404 BC. Driven by power struggles and mutual suspicions, the conflict dragged on for nearly 3 decades, devastating much of Greece. Ultimately, Sparta emerged victorious with Persian support, but the war left all sides weakened. Athens lost its empire and democracy was briefly overthrown. The long war marked the beginning of a period of decline and political instability. The rise of Macedon. Amid the turmoil of the post-war years, a new power began to rise in the north, Macedon. Under King Philip II, Macedon transformed from a peripheral kingdom into a formidable military state. Philip's innovations in warfare, especially the phalanx formation, allowed him to defeat the fractured Greek city-states and establish the Corinthian League, uniting them under his leadership. His ultimate goal was to lead a campaign against Persia, but he was assassinated before he could fulfill that ambition. Alexander the Great, conqueror of the world. Philip's son, Alexander the Great, inherited his vision and vastly expanded upon it. In less than a decade, Alexander conquered the Persian Empire, stretching Greek influence as far as Egypt, India, and Central Asia. A military genius and charismatic leader, he spread Greek culture and language throughout his empire in what came to be known as the Hellenistic period. Though he died young at age 32, Alexander's campaigns created a new world where Greek ideas mingled with Eastern traditions. The Hellenistic world, fusion of cultures. After Alexander's death in 323 BCE, his generals divided the empire into several Hellenistic kingdoms, including the Seleucid Empire, Ptolemaic Egypt, and Antigone and Macedon. These states maintained Greek culture while adopting local customs, resulting in a rich fusion of traditions. Cities like Alexandria in Egypt became centers of learning and culture. The Library of Alexandria symbolized this intellectual flowering, attracting scholars from across the known world to study philosophy, science, and literature. Science and philosophy in the Hellenistic Age. The Hellenistic period was a golden era for science and philosophy. Thinkers like Archimedes, Euclid, and Eratosthenes made groundbreaking contributions to mathematics, astronomy, and physics. In philosophy, schools like the Stoics and Epicureans offered new ways to understand ethics and the cosmos. These ideas would resonate through Roman civilization and eventually into the Renaissance. Greek thought, now global in scope, continued to shape human understanding. The decline of the Hellenistic kingdoms. Despite their cultural vibrancy, the Hellenistic kingdoms faced internal strife and external threats. Frequent wars between the successor states weakened them, while rising powers loomed to the west. The growing strength of the Roman Republic eventually brought these kingdoms under its influence, beginning with Macedon and ending with Egypt, when Cleopatra VII was defeated by Rome in 30 BC. With her death, the last vestige of Hellenistic independence was absorbed into the Roman Empire. Rome and the inheritance of Greece. As Rome expanded, it absorbed not only the lands but also the culture of Greece. Roman elites admired Greek art, literature, and philosophy. Greek became the language of the educated, and many Roman gods were equated with their Greek counterparts. Philosophers like Seneca were influenced by Stoicism, and architects modeled their structures on Greek temples. In many ways, the Roman Empire became a vessel for preserving and spreading Greek civilization. Greek legacy in language and literature. Greek language and literature have had an enduring impact on Western civilization. Works by Homer, Hesiod, Herodotus, and Thucydides became foundational texts for historians and writers. Greek tragedy and comedy established dramatic forms still used today. The Greek alphabet was the basis for the Latin script, and many English words derive from Greek roots, especially in science and philosophy. This linguistic heritage continues to enrich global culture. The philosophical foundations of the West. The philosophies developed in ancient Greece remain cornerstones of Western thought. Socrates emphasized ethics and critical inquiry. Plato envisioned ideal forms and just societies, and Aristotle explored logic, science, and politics in ways that deeply influenced medieval and modern philosophy. Their teachings were preserved by Islamic scholars during the Middle Ages and reintroduced to Europe during the Renaissance. The Greek philosophical tradition remains alive in universities and discourse today. Architecture, art, and aesthetics. Greek architecture, with its columns and symmetry, became a model for beauty and balance. From the Parthenon to modest Doric temples, Greek aesthetics emphasized harmony with nature and proportion. Sculpture evolved from stylized forms to lifelike representations of the human body, capturing motion and emotion with remarkable skill. These artistic ideals became benchmarks during the Renaissance and continue to inspire artists and architects worldwide. The enduring flame of Greece. Though the political structures of ancient Greece have long since disappeared, its cultural flame continues to burn. The ideas, institutions, and innovations born in the Aegean world still influence modern thought, governance, science, and art. As we reflect on the complete history of ancient Greece, from Minoan palaces to the conquests of Alexander, we see a civilization whose spirit transcended time. If you enjoyed this journey through history, please subscribe to Nestfrom Studio, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the legacy of ancient civilizations alive together.